All right, this is problem number 19 from the homework. Okay, we're supposed to figure out the other four trig functions when you're given this information. We can look back to page 372 to help us with this part. If you look back on page 372 and you look to the bottom where it says even and odd identities, it says that sine of a negative angle, okay, sine of a negative angle, maybe I'll have to write this. It says sine of a negative angle is the same as negative sine of that angle. Basically, if you want the positive angle like we have over here, then I have to change this to a positive over here. So with this information, sine is actually a positive 1/3. Okay? And tangent doesn't change. Tangent of x is still negative square root of 2 over 4. Alright, so from this information, we can start making some triangles. It might be easier for this. It will be easier for this problem if we just focus on one of these pieces of information, and we'll just focus on the sine. And the only thing we need to get from tangent is which quadrants we are in. Okay, tangent is negative in the second quadrant and the fourth quadrant. Okay, because in the second quadrant, your x value is negative. So y over x, y over a negative x would be negative, which would make tangent negative. In the fourth quadrant, your y value is negative, your x is positive, but tangent, remember, is y over x. So in the fourth quadrant, tangent would also be negative. So I know that I'm either going to be in the second quadrant or the fourth quadrant. Okay. Well, sine of 1/3. Sine of x, we know, is going to be the y value over the r. We also know it as opposite over hypotenuse. Well, if we were in the fourth quadrant, the y would have to be negative. Okay, so that means we must be in the second quadrant because sine is positive in the first. I'll write it in red. Sine is positive in the first quadrant and in the second quadrant. So the two quadrants where these two pieces of information overlap would be up here in the second quadrant. Alright, let's see what that means. That means I'm going to have to draw my triangle in the second quadrant. Radius goes up, comes down, and we get a right triangle. So my radius will always go out into that quadrant. From there I'll draw my y-axis, or I'll draw straight down to the x-axis. I'll draw my y value straight down to the x-axis. And here's my right triangle. We know sine is 1/3. So that means my y value is 1. My hypotenuse is 3. We need to figure out four other trig values. Two of them that shouldn't be too hard to figure out will be cosecant, because cosecant of this angle is a reciprocal of sine. So if cosecant, or if sine is y over r, cosecant would be r over y. In this case, it'd be 3 over 1. So cosecant would be 3. Okay, we're also given tangent. If tangent is negative square root of 2 over 4, cotangent, and we'll change colors here so you can see it, cotangent of that angle will be the reciprocal of this. So it'll be negative 4 over square root of 2. Multiply both the top and the bottom by the square root of 2. You get negative 4 square root of 2 over, oops, let's do that again. Negative 4 square root of 2 over 2. 4 divided by 2 is 2, so this answer will be negative 2 square root of 2. Okay, well, how about cosine? Cosine. Cosine of the angle is going to be x over r. All right, using this triangle, I don't have x yet, but I can find x by taking 3 squared minus 1 squared should give me x squared. Right? This side squared minus this side squared should be this side squared. So 9 minus 1 equals 8. So my x value equals the square root of 8, which means x would equal the square root of 2 times the square root of 4, which reduces to 2 square root of 2. Okay? So x is 2 square root of 2. So I'll write that here, 2 square root of 2 over 3. And then from here we can get secant. Secant is r over x, or 3 over 2 square root of 2, square root of 2 over square root of 2. I get 3 square root of 2 all over. Multiply these together, you get 4. So a fairly challenging problem. Hopefully this video helps.